In this video, I'll show you how to install this Eufy security camera system.
So I'll show you what's in the box, how to install it, our experience setting it up with the app, and some features we found really handy. For those of you that like to see what comes in the box, this C35 4-camera kit comes with the Homebase Mini, which is the hub that stores the video footage, so you'll have no monthly subscription for C35 cameras, of course. A leaflet that pretty much says download the app, and a sticker, a ball and socket base for each camera, and these are magnetic, but if you're not using the magnets, these mounting plates allow you to put them on a wall with these screws and anchors. Then there are 2 USB-C cables, a network cable, and this USB power supply. That's everything laid out, but this camera was actually missing a piece internally that allows it to snap into that ball and socket base. You can see this one here has a little white piece in there that one was missing. And to Eufy's credit, they made it pretty easy to send that camera back and get this one in the mail. So here's the whole kit. So here's the ball and socket base and the mounting plate, and they just slide together really easily like this, which is a big improvement since when I bought the cameras, and you had to unscrew the base like this to get it off the wall for charging. But these slide apart really easily. These 4 circles on the back of the base are the magnets. We weren't able to take advantage of that for this install, so let me know if you found this useful. Either way, you do need to snap this base into the back of the camera, which actually takes quite a bit of force. Then you can see how this ball and socket lets you aim the camera. Installation is super easy. Just pick your location, hold up that mounting plate, making sure to hold it in the up direction, and drill 2 pilot holes for the screws. Then drive in the screws. This is of course easier with the driver like this, but if you drill the pilot hole, you can use a screwdriver. Just takes a bit more work. From there, it's as simple as aligning that slot in the base vertically and sliding it onto that mounting plate. And don't forget to remove the protective film. And since we went into wood, we didn't need to use these little anchors, which are for going into drywall. These cameras have a really wide angle and you can see are very aimable, so the exact location on the wall probably isn't that critical. But if you have any doubts, you might want to skip ahead to the part where you connect your phone to all the cameras and the hub, so that you can see the video feed from the camera and figure out what placement is best. And if you're not sure about the Wi-Fi strength at the location of any of your cameras, the app can tell you during installation how strong the Wi-Fi signal is at each camera location, assuming you carry your phone around to each of them. Now on your phone, go to the App Store and search for the Eufy app, which is by Anchor. And then of course install it, and when it's all done, open it up. Then hit agree and continue. And if you already have an account, enter that email address and hit sign in. Otherwise hit sign up and confirm your region. And enter your preferred email address to sign up. So hit next and agree and continue. And the app will send a one-time verification code to that email you just entered. So plug those numbers in here. Now make up a password following the rules that they give below and hit done. We then gave Eufy access to Bluetooth as well as the phone's precise location while using the app. And finally, permission to locate and connect to nearby devices. At last, we're into the app. Click on the home base to add one, and in our case is the Homebase Mini. We left the default name of the house as is, and then gave permission to Eufy to access the camera, just while using the app. Now it wants to scan the QR code on the bottom of the hub, which earlier I had already plugged into the USB power adapter and plugged into the wall right next to the internet router because this network cable needs to stretch between them. So we scan the QR code there and followed the instructions to plug in the local area network cord. So one end in the back of the home base and the other in one of the ports on the back of your router. With that done, it wants your phone on the same network as the hub is connected to. Back at the hub, we should see the light turn from red to blue. Now it's finally adding the home base, and then wants you to press the sync button on the side of the home base. So we pressed the button, but then it said to hold it down for 2 seconds. So we held it down for 2 seconds until we heard a beep, and then pressed the next button. So it said it was adding it again, And then again, it asks us to hit the sync button. And finally, after a bit more thinking, the home base was added. Oh, but wait, and now it wants to update the firmware. This did indeed take a few minutes, but eventually it was done. Now we tell the app that the home base is in her living room, and we're naming it Shirley's Hub. Okay, so now it wants a photo of Shirley for face recognition. So I took one, but you can see it wasn't happy with the angle of the photo. So we did a more serious one, and it was happy with that. We told the app it was Shirley, but skipped the optional relationship choice because there's nothing to just say it was her. With her photo saved, now we can finally add some cameras. We hit next here because the screen didn't really seem to say anything, and then it told us to turn on all the cameras by pressing the sync button. So we gathered them all, pulled back that little rubber flap, and used the pen to press the sync button one by one. But don't try doing them all at the same time, because in the end, we had to go back to the Add a Device menu and add them one by one anyway. And there, it detected one immediately. But of course, we didn't know which one. So we told it to connect to Shirley's home base, and it wanted the camera pretty close. And since the home base was in the other room, we thought that was close enough. After pressing next, it wanted us to press the sync button on the camera for 2 seconds, but of course, we didn't know which one it was, so I pressed it for 2 seconds on all of them again. Nothing happened, so I just hit next, and that's when it started connecting. And when it finally did, we hit next, and then decided that was going to be the front door camera. Happy with that name, we hit next, and then chose optimal battery life. But all this stuff you can change in settings later if you want. We also left it at most efficiency, and since all these cameras are outdoor, we're enabling audio recording. You can hit skip here if you've already installed the cameras like we have, but it will give you detailed instructions. If you did follow them, you can hit next. Now it wants us to put the camera in its location. And if you bring the phone with you, those bars right there will tell you how good the Wi-Fi reception is for your camera in that spot. We still didn't know which camera it was, so I waved my hand over until I could tell which one it was.
All right, so this is front door. There you go, it's gonna recognize your face.
So we put it back outside and hit next. And now there was a tile for the front door camera on the screen, but nothing was happening. So we assumed it was updating the firmware. So we went to add another camera, and this is a method I would recommend. So find and click on battery camera, and in our case, scroll down to the C35, but it should say it on the box. So now add it to the house profile we've already made, and scan the QR code on the back of the camera, rather than pressing the sync button. Hit next when it suggests fully charging the battery, and next here again because we will connect it to the home base, where the video will be stored, so just hit yes. Then on this screen, we hit a funny problem where we couldn't scroll down because Shirley has a font set larger on her phone, so we had to go to the control panel and reduce the font size so that we could scroll down on the screen and hit next. But unfortunately, when we went back to the Eufy app, we had to go through all those steps again, which we did until we got back to the same screen and saw that the font size hadn't changed. So we had to close the Eufy app and start it again. Then I hit ignore when it asked about end-to-end encryption, and finally got back to that screen again.
Okay, there. See, we couldn't see that continue button before.
So we hit it, and now it wants us to press the sync button for 2 seconds. I always expect the app to detect this, but you do have to hit next. Once the camera connects to the Wi-Fi, it also connects to the home base, and you'll get a screen like this. Just hit next, and assign a location. In this case, I didn't see it on the list, so I hit add room, which allows you to enter your own room name or pick from a longer list of rooms. So we chose back door, but you still have to hit that little check mark. And oddly, you have to pick it again up above, and then hit submit. Then we went with the default options on the next 2 screens, and then enabled audio recording. Since we've already put up the mounting bracket, we can hit skip in the upper right, and after a few seconds, the camera view should appear on the screen. And here it's telling us to go put the camera in its location, and when we hit next this time, it asked about updating the firmware of the camera. And after a few seconds, that backdoor tile on the top showed that it was updating. So in the meantime, we put it back outside, and we went through those same steps to install the last 2 cameras.
So we got your side yard, got your front yard, got your back door, and your front door.
So from this main screen on the app, you can click on a camera tile to access a live view of it. And if you click on that little icon on the bottom right, it flips it so you can see it a lot bigger. If you hit that little beacon icon in the upper right, it will open a manual alarm menu. So if you want to test it, select an option below and hit confirm. And this is what it does with the sound and light option. By hitting the gear, you can access the settings menu. And from here, you can control the motion detection. What's really handy is setting an activity zone. Once you click that little pen or edit button on the bottom right, you can change the shape of this blue rectangle. So the camera will only start recording if it detects motion in that blue area. And here I've made it so that it won't go off every time somebody's walking down that alleyway. Only if they step into our grass, come up onto our porch, or go down towards the basement. Back one screen on that menu, you can do a motion test, which will make the little LED on the camera turn red if it detects motion only in that blue area. You can also talk to people through your camera by pressing that button down there.
Shirley, get off my porch. Can you hear that from the camera?
Try it one more time.
But this didn't work immediately the first time, so just keep playing around with it.
Okay, now I heard you. Okay.
Oh, you heard it through the camera?
Of course, these are wireless, so they do need to have their batteries charged. Plug in the USB cable that comes with it, and plug it into any USB power source you have. And the light is blue while it's charging. You can also see that battery icon charging on that camera's tile. So I think that's been a pretty good summary of our experience with this camera system. And while the install can be a bit fiddly at times, once you have it up and running, it's really pretty easy to use. And Shirley hasn't had any more things stolen from her porch. So if you like videos like this, you might like this one here.
There you go, it's gonna recognize your face.